Ron Turcotte's story will forever be intertwined with one of the greatest athletes in history, a horse whose very name evokes speed, majesty, and dominance. Yet Turcotte's legacy stands on its own as one of courage, skill, and resilience. The Canadian jockey, who guided Secretariat through all three of his legendary Triple Crown victories in 1973, passed away at 84, leaving behind a life that stretched far beyond the track. Born in Drummond, New Brunswick, Turcotte rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most respected riders of his generation. His breakthrough came in 1965 when, at just 23, he won the Preakness Stakes aboard Tom Rolfe. Success would follow in waves, none bigger than in 1972 with Riva Ridge, whose Kentucky Derby and Belmont wins set the stage for the pairing that would define Turcotte's career. When Secretariat entered his life, everything changed. The chestnut colt was unlike anything the sport had seen before, blending raw power with effortless grace. Turcotte knew immediately he was riding something special, telling reporters decades later that Secretariat was the type of horse you might never see again. Together they rewrote the record books, capturing 14 victories, including the Kentucky Derby, Preakness, and an immortal Belmont Stakes where Secretariat thundered across the finish line 31 lengths ahead. That race remains the gold standard, hailed as the greatest ever run on American soil. But Turcotte's career was not without heartbreak. In 1978, a fall during a race left him paralyzed, ending his time as a jockey. Yet even then, he displayed the same resilience and quiet strength that had defined his life in the saddle. A year later, he was rightfully inducted into the Hall of Fame, his contributions to the sport acknowledged not only for victories but for the inspiration he offered in the face of hardship. To those who knew him, Turcotte's greatness went beyond wins and trophies. Leonard Lusky, his business partner, described him as a man defined by faith, courage, and kindness, qualities that endured long after the roar of the crowd faded. For fans, his bond with Secretariat remains eternal, a partnership that embodied the beauty of sport at its purest. Ron Turcotte's passing marks the end of an era, but his story will be retold every time footage of Secretariat's Belmont run is replayed, every time someone recalls the wonder of 1973. He was more than a jockey, he was part of history itself, carrying with him the heart of a champion both on and off the track.